Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Mariners Fancast, brought to you by the NW Sportscast and the World of Sports Media Network. I'm Levi, and let us get into it. So, the Seattle Mariners, they took on the Texas Rangers today in the second game of the three-game weekend series down in Arlington, and they lost 7-4. I did say that if we're going to lose any game this series, today would be the one, and I was correct. So, what happened today? Just overall, it wasn't a great game for us. Marco Gonzales had a nice, strong first three innings, and the Mariners were getting stuff done. A couple sac flies. Suarez, Haggerty, they both hit some sacrifice flies. So we took the early 3-0 lead, and after that, it went downhill. Marco allows 4 runs in the fourth inning, and then another one in the fifth, so we go down 5-3. And then somehow we got another run made at 5-4. Penn Murphy comes in the seventh inning, gives up another run. Now it's 6-4, and then Chris Flexen in the eighth allows a seventh run. So it was all sorts of things. I will say the run that Chris Flexen gave up wasn't really his fault. That would be Cal Raleig's fault because he literally threw the ball into right field trying to pick off Josh Smith at first base. Weird choice for me, considering that Josh Smith is a fast guy and Cal Raleigh has not been successful on a single pickoff attempt this year. So I don't know if he was thinking, maybe that time would be the one, but it was clearly not a good throw. Got right past Ty France, rolled it deep into right field. Jesse Winker out in left field. He looked a little bit off today. He was running a little bit slower to the ball, not making the most perfect routes ever. He may have cost us a couple of runs, honestly. I'm not sure, but there's a couple of times when the ball got hit into left field that I thought maybe Winker should have got to it, and instead they landed for, one of them landed for a single, one of them landed for a double. So, I'm not going to put too much blame on Winker for that. I think that's a lot more on Marco, and, a lot of people are giving Marco a lot of hate right now. A lot of people are saying Marco's pretty bad. I have to say, though, it makes sense. It makes sense, and I kind of expected Marco to kind of blow up a bit today. Think of it this way. The Rangers, they've now faced Marco Gonzales 5 times this year. This is the 5th and final time that they're going to play against Marco Gonzales. Obviously, eventually, they're going to get to him, and he's been good against the Rangers this year, but the more that a team plays against a certain pitcher, the more likely they are to figure that pitcher out, and the more likely they are to start hitting them. And Marco Gonzales, when guys start to figure him out, they usually hit him pretty hard. He doesn't throw the ball that hard. He doesn't blow the ball by people. So once people start to figure out Marco, they really the hits start to come in droves. And that's kind of what we saw today, in the 4th and 5th innings against Marco Gonzales. The hits really did start to come in droves. And yeah, I'm not going to blame Marco too much. A lot of people are saying we should kick him out of the rotation, get rid of Marco. People on social media are really kind of attacking Marco right now, saying we should put Flexen back in there. I wouldn't do that. Marco, his last start against the Angels, it was good. It was 6 innings, 3 runs. Before that, it was a bad start against the Yankees, but it's the Yankees. What do you expect? And then before that, it was a pretty good start against, I believe, these very same Texas Rangers. So, Marco, he's kind of been hit or miss. 4 out of his last 6 starts have been pretty bad. But if you look at the bigger picture, 7 out of his last 12 starts have been good. So really, he's just going through a bad month, a bad period. Pitchers, it happens to the best of them. Logan Gilbert has also been going through kind of a rough stretch. Robbie Ray went through a rough stretch at one point in the season during May. He's been back to being excellent. And Marco Gonzales is going to be back to being excellent because he has been excellent for pretty much his whole career. And yeah, he's not an ace. He hasn't been an ace since, really since 2020. Last year, there's an argument to be made that he was technically our ace last year, but, when healthy, Justin Dunn was better, and by the end of the season, Chris Flexen was also pitching better. But, Marco Gonzales, we don't need him to be an ace. We need him to be a solid back end of the rotation guy. A 5 pitcher, maybe a 4 pitcher who can eat innings, and that is exactly what he has been. He's been a solid 4-5. He eats innings well, and he still has an ERA that's barely above 4. It's going to go back below 4 by the end of the season. His earned run average, it's like top 20 in the league on the past 4 seasons. So I know people love to say Marco's not good, but his value is really in his consistency. Not necessarily that he's consistently having a good start after good start, but his consistency in that even after a bad start, usually he just picks right up and does it again. He usually is pretty much, 2 good starts, 1 bad start. 2 good starts, 1 bad start. Right now, he's been in a stretch of 1 good start, 2 bad starts, but it's all going to even out in the end. Marco's going to be okay. He still deserves a spot in the rotation, and I think Mariners fans need to start, maybe lay off the hate a bit, because that doesn't help him. That doesn't help his mindset. That doesn't help his reputation. Obviously, the hate from fans, it gets to some players more than others. Obviously, it got to Jared Kelenic, and we still haven't seen Jared Kelenic play well. So I would say, if you're a Mariners fan out there who's really kind of dunking on Marco today, I would say try to lay off, try to hold back, and give Marco some credit. He is still a solid member of this rotation. He is a guy who has pitched to a 4 ERA or lower every single year since 2018. 2018 he was a 4.00. 2019 he was 3.7 something. 2020 he was 3.8. 2021 last year he was at 3.6, and this year up until today he was at 3.9. I think he's over 4 now, but I'm sure it will go back down. So this is a guy who's remarkably been consistently pitching in the upper threes as ERA. He's a very much an average pitcher, but he has good games. He has a couple bad games here and there. For the most part, Marco is a decently good pitcher. And yeah, like I said, his value is that he consistently is able to perform and give us solid innings, even if he goes through a couple of bad starts, like he does at times. He's done it before too. But even when he goes through bad starts, Marco picks the ball up 5 days later, every day, every week, I should say, 5 days later, and he puts together another solid outing. So I'm not going to put too much blame on this one for Marco. We were due to lose a game to the Rangers eventually. We'd beat them 9 times in a row. So, yeah, we lose today. Probably will go out there, and I would expect us to win tomorrow. So as far as the playoff standings go, let's see the MLB scoreboard. Let's check that really quick. So the MLB scoreboard, looking at it, we lost 7-4. The Twins and the Angels, they're tied 3-3. That's important, obviously, because the Twins are heading into today. They were 2.5 games back of us. They're currently tied in the 10th inning. So if the Twins win that one, they would then be 1.5 back of us. If they lose, they would remain 2.5 back. Right now, it appears the Twins have 2 on, 1 out in the top of the 10th. So that's how that game is going. We've got the, Guardians and Blue Jays. The Blue Jays won, so the Blue Jays, they moved back ahead of us by half a game. The Guardians are now 1 game behind us. Now, I believe the Guardians are actually leading their division right now, but that's still important because it means that if the Guardians were to fall out of the lead of their division, they would not be in front of us for the wild card. So the Blue Jays, though, with their win, they do move to a half game ahead of us. They are now 61-51. We are 62-53. So we've played 3 more games than they have. The Rays, they beat the Orioles tonight, 8-2. So the Rays now back ahead of the Orioles. They're still a game and a half behind us, and the Orioles are now 2 games. Yep, the Orioles are 2 games behind us. So we got the Rays 1.5 games behind us. They're tied with the Guardians, as well as they would be tied with the Twins in that position as well. And the Orioles at 59-54, they are now 2 games behind. So they are still 2 games behind us. And then you've got, I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously, the Astros, they win 8-0. That doesn't matter that much. The White Sox, they beat the Tigers 6-4. So the White Sox are now 3.5 games back of us, but we are still have pretty solid over them. Yankees beat the Red Sox 3-2. So the Red Sox remain 5 games back of us. So that's the update in the standings. So we still are in the number 2 wildcard spot. Even after today's loss, we're at only a half game back of the Blue Jays. And, I'm not super worried about Marco, and I'm not too worried about the team either. We scored 4 runs. We probably should have scored more against the Texas bullpen, but they did use all of their good relievers against us today. So maybe tomorrow, their bullpen's going to be pretty depleted. So I have a feeling tomorrow we might be able to get to their bullpen and hopefully score some more runs. Sam Haggerty put together another good day, sacrifice fly and a walk. Mitch Haniger got on base a couple times. J.P. Crawford got on base twice. That's good to see from him. He's kind of been slumping lately. Ty France continues to not do very well. So that's obviously a little bit concerning. Suarez had a decent day. So we're having guys who are doing well. We didn't put it together today. That's all right. We'll be back tomorrow, and I expect to win tomorrow. So that is pretty much the update for the Knights. Try to think if there's anything else super important for the Mariners. I don't think there is. So with that all being said, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe down below to the Mariners Fancast. Visit our other channel, the NW Sportscast. Or if you're watching it on the NW, I'll probably post it on both channels. And then check out the World of Sports as well. And follow our podcast. It's the Mariners Fancast. We have the first 3 episodes are now live on Spotify, Apple Podcasts as well. So if you want to check us out in any of those, and make sure you subscribe to all, follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Links are going to be down below in the description. Thanks, everybody. Go Ems.